somebody that's in your life that touches your heart and slows your breath and allows you to become more of who you are just by being with that person. And that's what we're doing here today, is being more than who we thought we ever could be by being with each other, by being in the sessions throughout the day, not only touching into aspects of our own consciousness, but touching into each other, not only in this breathwork conference here, but each other on the planet. As we start to breathe together, we realize that this planet is also breathing us, and that every aspect of sentient life on this planet is breathing. And in actuality, from all the work that I've done over time, I realize that we are actually cosmic beings informing a human experience, and that we're remembering the light of who we are. And that throughout the human experience, each and every one of us goes through different events, and we think, oh, I don't think I can breathe again through another one of those events. We're having those all over the world right now with our brothers and sisters throughout the world, with our sea life, with our animal life, with the birds. They're all part of who we are. They're all part of this one big breath that Jude Curtivan, in her wonderful book, The Cosmic Hologram, said that perhaps, just perhaps, the universe didn't start with a big bang. Perhaps it started with a big breath. That the universe is constantly expanding and contracting, expanding, stasis. There's your pause. There's your integration. There's that stasis point, and then contraction, stasis. And in that life pulse, each of us are part of that universe breathing us. I want you to imagine the cosmos is breathing you, that the divine is closer to you than breath in your nostrils. That not only does breath bring oxygen and life force, but the cosmos is actually breathing us into human form. And when we're born into human form, if we imagine, and Pythagoras says, we're the great transmigration of souls here. He said, thousands of souls are being born a day. And I looked that up. 3,000 souls are being born a day. And 250,000 souls, light beings, are leaving this planet a day. And each and every one of you came with your light, your core light first, as a blessing. You decided without a body that you were coming to this great planet Earth. And some of you said, well, maybe not, but here I am. And depending on your own particular longing or desire or connection to other cosmic beings, you decided to incarnate into your family system, into the culture in which you were born. This was no accident. Into the DNA that is in your body, that is encoded with all of your ancestors, and all the memories are inside of you. As the cosmos keeps breathing you into form, we are being information informing a human experience. And so I wanted us to bring and kind of connect from that space first. And I may not pull up my PowerPoint that I use because I'm already in the flow of it, and I don't think I need it. But I want you to think of your life pulse. Let's see, can you hear me? My voice is low. Um, can you hear me loud enough? Anyway, I want you to think of your life pulse. I'll speak up because when I go into a channel, I start speaking low. Just the natural thing. So I want you to consider that we're all part of that cosmic breath. And just imagine that the cosmos isn't out there, it's inside of you, it's deep inside of you. In the center of your core is your core essence, your core star, the light of who you've always been. And inside of you is every divine quality that ever existed in the universe. So every divine quality that ever existed. We don't make more love in the world. Transfigurative love comes from the universe. Information comes from the universe. Our intelligence comes from the universe. So I want you to consider just placing your fingertips 2 inches below your navel for a moment and allowing your breath to breathe you there. Just quieting your mind and looking down in your body. And imagine the light that you were born with. And when I started doing this work in 1987, and somebody mentioned that we were light on the inside and we had a core essence, I didn't knew nothing about that. I thought the person was crazy. That was Barbara Brennan. I said, this lady must be a nutcase. I was studying at Hahnemann University Medical School, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this lady's nuts. I can feel the horror, I can feel this, but she says I'm light. And all I could feel was my human shame, the shame that I carried from my childhood, the shame that I carried from my tribe. So when I went inside and thought, okay, I'm trying, and if I can pretend I am that, maybe it'll happen. And it wasn't happening. It wasn't happening until I started to breathe even deeper and do the work of the trauma work that we're all born into to realize I'm not the trauma. The trauma that we go through in life, and I'm going to talk to it in the principles of expansion stasis, contraction stasis, that when we go through the birthing process, we may go through a particular trauma. We incarnate into our family system, and there's something happening in that family system. Whether it was planned or not planned, we can look all over the world right now. Babies are being born in a very loving environment, and babies are being born in torn and worn countries. And so those are not planned, but those events impact that expansion stasis, contraction stasis. So just say that you're being born in a torn country and bombs are going off, and your light's trying to incarnate and fill this body up with light and turn it on with light. You contract. And what happens when we contract? There's a part of us that will leave. I don't want to be here. How many of us have a leaving pattern that sometimes something happens in our life, even today or yesterday, and you say, I'm out. I want to get out of here now. That's part of our core presence that can't tolerate the terror and fear that we may have experienced just by being a human being. Our nervous system gets programmed and activated. We didn't have a nervous system before we had a body. You just didn't have one. So now you have a body, and really think about it. When you're a baby, and like this operating system, we're all working with the computer and Zoom and all the different technology. Well, you are a core star working with the operating system of this body. And so when you contract and leave, that prolonged contraction stays in the body. If that happens over and over again, so there's a pattern that happens in the body where it's easier for me when I'm afraid just to leave. How many of us in this room kind of just leave our body? And it's usually, if we try to force ourselves to come back in, or somebody wants us to come back in, and even I learned, and in Brennan work, we'll go to the taunting end, we'll force ourselves to come back in, and that sometimes doesn't work. It's following the breath. I find where I left to. And then you breathe back down into the body. Where am I? Am I up here? Is it unsafe? Can I breathe the breath down here into my body? And it's only you that can bring you back home into your body to find that cosmic pulse. And so let's all of us for this moment just take a breath and just sense in, where are you right now? Are you in your body? Is part of you out? And just allow your breath, breathing through your nose, out your mouth, and even bringing your hands and inviting yourself in, not forcing yourself, just inviting all of myself is welcome here. All of myself is welcome here. You can imagine when people are fighting or there's bombs going off or there was abuse, the core light doesn't feel welcomed. So welcoming yourself with your breath. Breathing through your nose and all the way down into your lower abdomen. A lot of us, when we're frightened, we don't breathe in our lower abdomen. And I like to rock mine and take a moment. If you could just move your abdomen a little bit back and forth, it opens the chakras in the body and it opens that contraction, because when we contract in the lower belly, we push our energy up and out. We want to invite all of us here. And one of the mantras that I always say when I'm afraid is, I trust in the light that I am. And just as you're breathing, breathe in, I trust in the light that I am. I trust in the light that I am. I trust that I am welcome here. I trust that I am welcome here. I trust in the light that I am. And I want you now to breathe that up your vertical center into the center of your brain, because trust is a core quality. So take a deep breath, breathe down into your belly, go into stasis, and then bring the energy up into your head, breathing trust in your head, and breathe out. Breathing in trust, bringing it up your vertical power current, and then breathing out mistrust or fear. Doing that a few times, breathing in trust all the way up your body into the center of your brain, right in the limbic system, and breathing out mistrust. Not getting attached to either one, trusting or mistrusting, just allowing the mistrust and then the trust, and the mistrust and the trust, because the polarity balances itself out when you breathe with it. And one of the things I want to remind you of is we don't make more trust in the world. And the reason I know that it's a core quality is because one moment you can be filled with trust and being with someone and open and honest and free. And the next moment you contract in mistrust. Who contracted? Trust didn't go anywhere. You just contracted your core presence. So just reminding yourself, just even in a moment when you're in mistrust or trust, it's like I'm regulating that in my body through my breath. So just take a moment to be with that process of breathing in trust, moving into stasis, and breathing out mistrust. Breathing in trust, moving into stasis, and breathing out mistrust. And let's do that again. Just breathing in trust, filling up with trust all the way into the center of the head, and breathing out mistrust. Trust is very foundational to our being and feeling safe in the world, our sense of calmness and peace. And anytime we feel unrest or in that pause, connecting to that core quality of trusting, trust in me, I'm closer to you than breath in your nostrils. Trust in the light that is emerging from your core. Do not forget that the light that is emerging from your core dissolves the illusions that are surrounding you. And your breath is the way gently to freeze you. It, you're like either the breath is frozen or you're freeing the breath with trust. And it's all operating inside of you. This is your operating system. This is your human energy consciousness system field, your biofield. And without breath, what happens? Your engine turns off. Without breath, breathing into the human form, into this possibility, the engine turns off. And it's not that we die, it is that we are breathing in another dimension, our light. And so that is one pattern, the leaving pattern. I want to talk about a couple other patterns that you may see yourself doing during the time of uncertainty in the world. We have a pattern called the collapsing pattern, where we collapse and we can't take anymore. It's too much for me. I need somebody to help me. Do it for me, please, somebody. Or if we're not collapsing and collapsing over, we feel like I don't have enough. The I don't have enough means I'm not breathing from my core. I'm not allowing myself enough from my core. I never felt that I was enough growing up. There was enough. I got nurtured enough. So I didn't learn how to fill myself up from the core. So when you're not feeling like you're enough or you're collapsing, or the other pattern is I compensate, I give everybody everything that I think they need, and I don't take in anything I need. So we get in this hurried space. And coming back to the self and just breathing in. I am enough. My core is enough. And I love and accept myself as I am. So take a moment to breathe in love and acceptance as you are. Just breathing in love and acceptance. Pausing, allowing that integration of stasis, and then breathing it all the way up into the top of your head, into your deep limbing system. And I love and accept the light that I am. I love and accept the breath that I am. We can breathe the breath up through your body, love and acceptance. And again, love and acceptance is a core quality. We don't make more love. And just the same theory. It's like I'm either loving somebody really a lot, or I've just shut down and turned that off, and I'm not going to express that towards a person. Who turned it off? This is what makes me cry, because we all have turned off so much love in ourselves that is so free and deep inside of us. It's like this transfigurative love coming from the universe. It's unending and it's eternal. And somehow in the human experience, we forgot not only how to love ourselves, in our imperfections. It's easy to say, I did that really cool thing, but it's like not so easy to say, I wasn't so cool right then. I really messed up. And even if we ask somebody else for forgiveness when we mess up, if we don't love or accept ourselves and forgive ourselves, we get entangled, quantumly entangled in our field. And we start repeating that same pattern, or we start compensating to get love. So just open yourself to feel the love and the grace that comes from your core. And it's really that contracted breath again. I either breathe and allow love to flow through me from my core up into the center of my brain, where my judgments, my self-judgments are. And I just untoggle my deep limbic system and let go of the places where I've been unloving towards myself. Breathing in and all the way up into the limbic system of the brain. And out. And allowing yourself to breathe love. It's free, just like oxygen and breath is free, love is free. Your core qualities are free. They're just suppressed underneath the trauma that we're contracted with is only our core essence contracted down there. And we're so afraid to gently, vulnerably touch that trauma with love, with gentleness, not pushing, not forcing, inviting, inviting that part of ourselves back into communion with ourselves. That we're not only our mistakes. We live, as my dad said, and we learn. There are no mistakes. And so, with that one, there's one more quality that I'm going to invite. I think I have 2 minutes. And I'm going to invite this one in because it's divine respect. And when I started with this session, and I started with the session that I felt that I didn't know my core star. I had no idea where it was. I was like, I don't have one. This woman's crazy. I went to my room and she has one. I don't have one, and maybe I should drop out and just do traditional psychotherapy, you know, study medicine, right? And so what I learned is that when we're children and our third chakra is developing and our autonomy is developing and we're codependent with others and how they think about us, that's how we end up perceiving ourselves. And nobody ever taught me that the light was in me. Nobody said, Donna, you're a blessing to this family. And so when I first went to see my niece at the hospital and we're looking in the medical, looking at all the babies, and I'm looking and I'm looking, and I've never felt my core star. I'm looking in there. I'm in the third year at Brennan. I'm looking and I'm like, where's the little Strauss? Where's the little Strauss? And all of a sudden, this darshan came over me from the babies in the room. And they said, Donna, there is nothing wrong with you. There was never anything wrong with you. You are as innocent, as exquisite as every one of these newborn babies. And at that time, tears rolled in my eyes and the light in me began to shine. And I felt it for the first time. I was trying to fake it before, but I felt it this time. And nobody could take that experience away. Nobody can. And nobody was given any more core essence than you. Everybody was given the same amount of dose of core essence. It is our job to uncover all the debris around it. And as Barbara said, let that be the nutrients for your core star to birth itself again. So respecting the light within you, taking time to say, I respect the light within me. I spent a year saying, I just want to know your grace. I want to know you. I listened for guides or this or that. No, I want to hear your voice. Take time tending to the garden in you, because that is your deepest connection to the cosmos and your brothers and sisters that are here around the world with you and all the sentient life on the planet. And I know I need to turn this back over. And so I hope that we can commune together in Core Star realm. And thank you for having me.